Alright everyone, we've seen where we've lacked creativity, especially today. And one player I want to bring to your attention is Morgan Rogers, the Villa player. Now they signed him from Borough in this February 2024. Alright. So he's just started his first full season. And he signed for 8 million, which is a bargain for a player when you look at him now, with a potential rising up to 15 million. I had a look at his market value and I saw prices in euros, and I'll see if I can convert them roughly. Market value now, a few places had 43 million euros, say 43 million pound, and a market value between 32 and 44 million pounds. So over 40 million pound would be a market value for him now. He's an England international now. I don't know how many times he's played. He's played 4 times for England. But to sign him now, you're looking at 3 or 4 times what Villa paid. And I've got an article here by the Premier League by Adrian Clark, and it says how Rodgers' direct style is driving Villa forward. But I made some notes on him. Now I know there's a video in that article because I tried to play the video just to look at a goal, but I got probably Premier League audio playing through on the video, and I didn't want to risk it being hit with copyright, so I've redone the video. But we know he's a versatile player. He was a left winger, and Unai Emery's turned him into a really effective attacking midfielder. He's an aggressive style of player, direct, suits Villa's style down to the ground. He can possibly play up front, maybe as more of a, not like a number 9, but he'd be more like a 10. He's very good at running with the ball, good with dribbling the ball, good at controlling the ball, and good at carrying the ball forward. For example, the control. Look at the goal he scored against Forest yesterday, where he brought it down. Brilliant touch, brought it down, set himself up and got the goal. And from that goal you can see how he's very good at drifting in between the lines of the back 4 in the midfield, like into those pockets of space. It's a very good attribute to have. It's harder to man mark because you're pulling players out of position. He'll drop back into like the main midfield and you can force turnovers, so that's like a turnover of possession. And he can get the ball to feet. He's strong. He's not scared of getting stuck in. For the style of player that Villa have, that's no surprise. He's a very influential player. He creates chances and will get shots away. I've seen him drive forward multiple times and create chances. He is a threat. He's an absolutely amazing player. Now, I've seen him play on the wing for Borough. So I knew about him. I've seen him play. I'd seen him play live. But he's improved his game tremendously. He's like taken to the Premier League and the step up like a duck to water, so to speak, and he's become one of the best players around in that position. And I've got a feeling that market value of 50 million euros or whatever they've got is going to increase before too long. And he'd be the sort of player, if Villa didn't qualify for Europe, they would potentially struggle to keep hold of him. He's an amazing player. Now let's have a look at this Premier League thing by Adrian Clark. It's by Talking Tactics. I've never really looked at these much. And he says how Rodgers' direct style is driving Aston Villa forward and why he's become one of the most dangerous number 10s in the league. And it says in space of 8 months he's gone from a promising left winger to one of the Premier League's most unique and dangerous 10s. Now this article was written on October last year, but he signed in February 24, so you can see the change. He's powerful. It says he's a powerful runner with the ball, and he's been one of the standout players of so far this season. And this was in October, so you're looking at the first 2 months, and yes, he has been. They also say that as the time, I'm not going to quote it, but I'm going to explain what they're trying to tell you here. So as time's gone by, the decision made by Unai Emery to utilise his super strength in central areas rather than the flanks looks more and more inspired. And this was obviously before they played Man United, because they said driving down the centre he can cause Man United major problems this Sunday. I can't remember if he did actually. I can't remember the game. Let's have a look. I'll just look on my phone. I have to go back to, when was it, October. When was this article written? 5th of October. Well, it was a 0-0 draw. But Villa had more of the possession, more passes, more shots. And Morgan Rodgers played they played a 4-2-3-1 Villa that day. So if you look at the midfield, they had Ross Barkley and Yuri Tielemans. And then in the three behind Ollie Watkins, they had Liam Bailey on the right, Morgan Rodgers, and Jadon Philogene-Bidace on the left. So you can see how Unai Emery is using him. So what else do we have? Direct style. He's an aggressive, direct style play suited to the way Villa attack. That's pretty much what I just said. They're a side who break forward at pace, and his powerful physique is tailor-made for what they call Emery ball. He's 5th in the division for attempted take-ons. He can carry the ball with strength and speed. And it's 32 take-ons. 5 of those bursts have earned fouls, and a further 5 took him inside the opposition box. So let's look at these take-ons here. Most attempted take-ons in the season so far were Mohamed Kudus, who had 42, Adama Traore, who had 41, Jeremy Doku had 35, Kaoru Matoma, who had 33, and Morgan Rodgers had 32. And they show you pictures here. It's against Arsenal. They show him I'm not really going to talk about this because I can't really describe it if you can't see it. It tells us he's also a hard-working player out of possession, something that is a key attribute for an Emery midfielder. With the creation of transitions so vital to the success, Rodgers' ability to win the ball back in advanced areas is a huge plus. So there's the turnovers there, and as I said, pressuring defenders alongside Ollie Watkins in a 4-4-2 is excellent at then dropping back in the midfield to force turnovers. So when I looked at that 4-2-3-1 against Man United, he will move a bit forward to sort of create a 4-4-2, and then he'll drop back. And they've got some stats here for when Villa don't have the ball. Possession 1, they've got 27 for Morgan Rodgers. Pass 1, middle, attacking third, 19. Morgan Rodgers, he's the top in both. Apparently, and I can't remember this, but I didn't really pay much attention to Villa last year as much. Or I should say I didn't really pay much attention to the Morgan Rodgers role. I mean, I'd watch them, but I wouldn't study them as much. I might study them a bit more now. But most of her appearances were on the left side, but he was given chances to play in the middle. And they've got a look of his heat map here from last year. And you can see he's literally up and down that left hand side and the centre. And he's now classed as a support striker, does most of the work in and around the halfway line and beyond. With Watkins naturally drawn left, Rodgers spent more time on the ball in right-sided pockets. And they're focusing on the Man United game here, saying Casemiro and Christian Eriksen may struggle to cope with his physicality. And they said Adrian Clark said he expected Manuel Ugarte or Kobe Mainoo to come into the team and cope with his runs. Now let's have a look at the Man United team for that. Is that what happened? Let's have a look at the lineups. It was actually Kobe Mainoo and Christian Eriksen. Ugarte didn't even get off the bench, and Casemiro came on for it, so he was nearly right. And they've got a heat map for this season, and it's very, very different. It's really different. Is it a video? Or just where he's on the right side. I'll try and tell you, and if you don't understand, I'll describe it for you. He's in the right side pocket. Now, as I said, he likes to find pockets in between the lines. And if you think between the centre circle and the edge of the box, but more on the right, but not on the wing, more in line, if he's stood straight forward looking at the goal, he'd be looking at the edge of the 6-yard box. He's in that pocket of space a lot. He got 3 goals in 11 games in his debut season in the Premier League. And what's this? Now we're having a look at weekly impact. 3 goals in 11 games last year. It says here, not many 10s have the skill set to run at opponents with such power from central positions. That's why he's also so effective, because he's played on the wing. He can run it with power and pace, and he's got the technical ability to carry the ball forward. It's not something you normally see from a number 10. And looking at his 57 carries, you can see where he's carried the ball. And it's going to be really hard to describe this, but I'd say there's a lot of them from left to right, and the angle of the left to right, some are more intense and some are slight gradients. But there's the other ones where he's driving into the box. If you wonder what a carry is, they're giving you a description here. Carry is defined as a player moving with the ball for 5 metres or more. I mean, there's a few here where he's probably going, I think, 30-40 yards. What's made him a standout player this season is he's got the quality at the end of those runs. He can finish the chance or he can create the chance. The example I use here is Wolves, where he's had a run forward and then just had a calm assist. They use an example here against Wolves where he set up Jean Duran before he moved to Saudi. Was it Saudi he went to? It says the goal he created, and they show the run he made. He's gone from right to left. So he started his run about 33-34 yards from goal and ended maybe about 14 yards from goal, the goal line. He exploded away from his marker with a long channel run. That means he's run down that channel. As I'm looking at the picture here to describe it, picture if you look at the cut grass lines on the pitch, you normally see three strips along the 18-yard box. The first one's around about 6 yards, then the next one will be on the penalty spot and the edge of the box. So these strips are obviously 6 yards. And he started his run halfway on the third cut strip grass on the outside of the box. So you're looking at between the edge of the box and the D, and say 15 yards from the box. And the channel, he's run straight down, so it'll be the channel between the full back and the centre back. If you can see that, I don't know if I can put the image on, I don't think I can. And he's played the ball to just past the penalty spot for Duran to score. So that is an example of what Morgan Rogers does, what Morgan Rogers is, and you can say the Premier League analysis sort of expanded more on what I said and how he plays. Now, you picture that style of player and or picture just Morgan Rogers himself in where Dom is. What chances could he create for whoever plays in the number 9 next season, or wingers cutting in, drifting in? Assuming Mo stays, alright, what it would do is, in terms of creativity, I mean, yes, we have Maka still, but it takes a lot of pressure off Mo. And we know a Trent departure creates a huge void in chances created. He may not be the best defender in the world, but his passing stats are known. We know how many chances he's created. And the same with Robertson at his peak. And he could be on his way. So we need to find those chances from other areas. Now, if I look again at his stats this season, let's have a look. Let's just go to... Now, if I go to the Premier League top scorers, you can usually switch to assists. You can, right? Now, in assists, right? Hey, how many assists does he have? Right, he has 6 assists, okay? Ollie Watkins has 6 assists. Right. Now let's look at the other assists. Let's see who is second. Trent, second for us, with 6. Okay? Then it's Luis Diaz. Who's got 5. How many assists have we got from the centre of midfield? I'm just looking here. I mean, Cody Gakpo's got 3, Ryan Gravenberch has got 3, but that's not... But you'd be playing him where Dom is. How many assists does Dom have? McAllister's also got 3, but where's Dom? 3. So he's got as many assists of... He's got 6 assists on his own. Our midfield has 9, 3 each. What else can we... Any else that we can compare? I don't know what we can compare. What's his goals versus our midfielders? I mean, Luis Diaz has 10, but he's a winger, so we're not going to really... We're comparing basically Dom and Maka. Gakpo has 8. Morgan Rogers has 8. Okay? So out of our 3 midfielders, I think Maka has 4 this season. Dominic Szoboszlai has 5. Maka has 4. So already he's showing he creates more chances than Dom or Maka or Grav, and he's scoring more goals than them. Okay. Passes. Let's have a look at the passes between him. Now the most passes is actually Virgil van Dijk. Now I expect there might be a bit of a difference here with the amount we see of the ball. Ryan Gravenberch has 1,634 passes. Okay. Then it's Kanate. Where's Morgan Rogers in terms of passes? Just looking. McAllister 1,275. I haven't seen Dom yet. The sort of player I would be looking at to compare him with mostly. $1,067 for Dom, but we play a more passing game than Villa. So where is Morgan Rogers on here? I don't know if we can actually compare the players directly. I'll have to have a look at that. That might be a better way of doing it. If we compare players directly. So if I go back to the assists. We'll go back to goals because we know if I'm going to try and look at Morgan Rogers versus Dom directly. There we go, Dominic Szoboszlai. Right. It doesn't give me the detailed stats, unfortunately. $717 passes so he's about 300 passes behind Dom, who's in a more passing based team. Touches. So if we go to Aston Villa, most touches on the ball, Morgan Rogers has 1,256 touches. And if we go to us, 1,423 for a team that it's meant to be killing them with passes. You see a difference. But when we look at the key stats of goals and assists, Morgan Rogers surpasses all of our midfielders. And for passing and touches, he's not far behind them when you consider he might be driving forward more. So what do you think of Dom? And what do you think of Morgan Rogers in the role Dom has? I do like Dom at this boss. He had a really, really good start to 2025. But I think we need somewhere else for the chances. And you look at Morgan Rogers, his stats, his record is speaking for itself. He may not be the world-class, creative, powerhouse goal-scoring midfielder that some may want, but with the right coaching, the right setup, Morgan Rogers could be not only a mainstay in the England squad, but a key part, I don't know what on earth that noise was, but a key part of the England team for the years to come. So again, let me know your thoughts on this. Do you think Morgan Rogers would be a good fit for Liverpool? And please let me know if my analysis and breakdown and explanations of what they're saying makes sense. Alright guys, I know when I'm trying to explain channels and I'm looking at a picture, it's really hard without you showing the picture, and I can't do that for possibly copyright reasons. But when I say channel, if you think the channel between the fullback and the defence, that straight line between the two, down the length of the touchline, then you're on the right lines. If you want to think about the pockets of space if you think of the pockets of space between a midfield and the defence, then you can see where he likes to exploit those spaces, because it's impossible to literally have no space between the defence and the midfield. There may be limited space, but there will be space, and he likes to exploit that space, and he will drive forward into that space as well with the ball. I hope this video made sense. It's been half an hour long, and normally when I do analysis, it's not normally as in depth, but I had a good Premier League one there with pictures and examples that I could refer to and explain this by what he did in those games, how he plays. But there you go. Thank you very much.